My name's Kevin. I've been doing sound engineering now for the church for going on 30 years. Started when I was 18, 19, I guess, serving in youth, actually. We had a small drama team here at the time, so I would run the sound system when we went out to SILAP's detention center or off to different sort of community events and stuff like that, and then slowly migrated into the main service. I have a decent ear, and this was my opportunity to be part of the worship team. Dennis Molyneux, who attended the church for a long time, he was the person training me, sitting here right here in this booth, a couple boards ago now. But Dennis told me that it was not about the guitarist or the worship leader, or the background vocals even, or the drummer, right? Certainly wasn't about us, right? It was really about presenting the church with an atmosphere in which they can enter into worship, right? And that stuck with me. We have fantastic musicians and vocalists in this church, but really, sitting here, I've got the best seat in the house. I'm surrounded by one of the largest singing choirs that you're going to see on a Sunday morning, and when everything's going right, it's got to be no closer than sitting in the throne room. It's fantastic. I can just sit there, close my eyes, and I can hear hundreds of people singing around me every morning. And I don't know that I could give that up.
That's awesome.
Sure, serving's work. There's a commitment, right? You commit. Arguably the biggest thing you're going to commit is your time, right? There's time either away from family or other functions and stuff like that to commit to this, right? Things break. Church is great about that, though. We fix things, we move on, we continue to strive to be better, right? But in all fairness, I joke around too. It sounds bad, right? For me, this is almost a selfish thing. I do this because I honestly get more out of it than I'll ever put into it, right? There are times where it's 1 o'clock. I've been here for 8 hours almost already. You're sort of ready to go home. But when you go home, it's and you realize sort of what you were part of. I don't know that I could sit there and say that I gave up more than what I got back. And that's the way it's been for 30 years. The other thing is, you don't have to know what you're doing, right? Like, come on. I did not walk into this knowing anything about sound engineering at all, right? Surrounded by patient people who mentored me, right? Gave me the steps to follow, right? And I was developed. And this church is filled with amazing people that will help us develop and do things that we never thought we'd be able to do. I think it's taking a small leap of faith, right? I think you need to take one step forward. You need to understand that God's there with you when you do it, right? And trust your fellow believers in the church that they won't let you fail, right? You wouldn't let me fail, right? We work together, right? It's take the first step. God will lead you to the next one, and the next one, and the next one. But you got to start somewhere, right? You got to take that commitment of faith and just take a step forward, and He'll meet you